All right, well, we weren't expecting to make back-to-back Disney videos, but they just dropped a bombshell a few days ago, and it's something that we unfortunately saw coming.
At this year's D23 announcement, they introduced the idea of a Monsters Inc. world at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and they did show us two pieces of concept art. One was in Muppets Courtyard, and one was in Animation Courtyard. Now, we believe there is one clear choice here, and there's one very wrong choice here. So, what do you think they chose?
Yeah, they didn't mention at the time of D23 exactly where it would be going, even though they knew exactly where it would be going. Um, and yeah, I would not want to be booed by millions of Disney fanatics either, because they certainly would have gotten booed had they said it was going to the Muppet Courtyard, which is just a tragedy.
It is, withholding pertinent information at this announcement, but hey, that's Disney.
And we'll give you our thoughts on why it should be an animation courtyard. But first, let's talk about Muppet Vision 3D, treasured show that they're going to be losing now. This was Jim Henson's final work, like the final time that the Muppets were in their original true form. The last time they're ever going to be that funny, and it's a magnificent show.
It is. It's so funny. It's really more of a legacy and more of a monument than an attraction or a show. And I just feel like it really caters to a vast audience. We went the first time when we were little kids. It was funny. It was cute. The 3D was really cool and innovative for that time. And a few years ago, we went as adults again. Hilarious. I just feel like there were so many jokes in it that I didn't catch the first time. And what a unique show. I feel like there's not a lot of Disney shows that cater that vastly.
Yeah, and it works in this park. It's such a people eater in a park that needs capacity. And like she was saying, it's for all ages, kids, adults. It's just a good time to get out of the heat for 20, 30 minutes. And it's the cultural significance of this is just so important.
It is. That can't be understated. This is an important attribute of the park, and there are Muppet fans all over the world, so this really kind of angered a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like this is our generation's Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
Everyone was freaking out about, and yeah, it's just a stain on Jim Henson's legacy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's worth a small investment to keep an existing attraction that everybody loves operating still. I really don't think I've heard negative things about it from anybody. Again, all ages really seem to like it.
It's a fantastic show.
It really is. Yeah. It's something that we would definitely visit every time we visit the park.
Yeah, especially when there is absolutely no need for Disney to do this. Yeah. They had other options. As we mentioned earlier, the animation courtyard is where this Monsters Inc. land should have been going.
Sounds appropriate for an animated film.
First of all, Animation Courtyard is right in the middle of the park. There's way more land there than there is in Muppets Courtyard.
And it is closer to the Toy Story area too, correct?
Yeah, it's right next to Toy Story Land. You make that a Pixar area.
That could transition into one another, yeah.
The only things in Animation Courtyard are the Star Wars launch bay, which is just some old movie props, and you get to meet Darth Vader and Chewbacca. Cool, sure. Move that to Galaxy's Edge, where it belongs.
Yeah.
How about we bring in original Star Wars characters to Galaxy's Edge? The characters that people like?
Yeah, right? Instead of the old stuff. Or instead of the new stuff, sorry.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And the only other thing they have there is that Junior dance play battle thing.
It seems like it should be vacant space, and most of the time is.
Yeah, and like we said, there's just so much more space there for a big land. Muppets Courtyard is a small corner of the park.
So I would say barely constitutes as a land anyways for Monsters Inc. So it's just halfway in between just being an attraction or two, and to call it an immersive land I think is a far stretch. So we believe one of the main reasons they didn't put it in Animation Courtyard is because they apparently have some staff office buildings there that they just don't want to get rid of and don't want to find a replacement for. The buildings in Muppet Courtyard are already pre-existing. You don't really have to demolish anything, so...
Yeah, it saves them a lot of money on construction and stuff. And like you're saying, yeah, the building behind Launch Bay is Executive and Imagineer offices. And they have their little VIP parking lot there, and they couldn't afford to lose that, obviously, right?
And they can walk into the park whenever they want to,
Yeah, it's not like you can't just build an office building anywhere. Come on. This is prime time, theme park real estate here that should be filled with attractions.
Yep, staying vacant just for the sake of saving a little bit of cash.
It's right in the middle of the park. Like, there needs to be attractions here, not just this joke of a courtyard with a dance party, some movie props, and executive offices. Like,
Wasted space.
yeah. And to save money as well, like she was mentioning, they would have to do construction here if Monsters Inc. Land was going to go in Animation Courtyard. But in the Muppets Courtyard, those buildings are already there.
Yeah.
The only building they're going to have to build now is the one for the roller coaster, which is going to be behind all of this.
Heaven forbid you invest a bit more and do the right thing.
And that leads me to my next point. Why couldn't they just keep the Muppets Courtyard as is and just build that roller coaster building behind it anyway?
Right? Like, you don't need to demolish anything. You can still build this ride, and it would still be in an appropriate area.
Yeah, the Muppets Courtyard is not some immersive land that's going to be ruined by sightlines, whatever. Like, nobody's going to care that there's a Monsters Inc. roller coaster building behind it.
It's the best of both worlds. We'll still get a new coaster, whatever, and you don't have to get rid of Jim Henson's legacy.
Hello?
Easy peasy. Or so we thought.
Yeah, and speaking of the roller coaster, with the initial concept art, I was excited for sure. Marketing inverted thrill coaster,
Yeah.
the door coaster, which has been rumored for like decades now, and like I've always wanted it for sure. Yeah, until I saw the 3D model of it.
It seems like they took an old idea, dusted it off, and kind of even like dulled it down to just be like a cheaper option that can just get plopped into this park here.
This does not look like a thrill coaster. It looks like a series of like slow U-turns, like
Meandering.
as you're slowly descending. Like, I don't see any big drops or inversions. Like, unless I'm missing something here, this does not look like a fun roller coaster. The layout, anyway. I don't know, like the show scenes are going to look like. I hope they're good, but yeah, this does not look like a very thrilling coaster by any means. And instead of keeping the Muppet Vision 3D show, which is very easy for them to do and what they should be doing, they're going to replace it with a Monsters Inc. theater show, which they already have at Magic Kingdom. Like, who's asking for a second one?
Exactly. I hear a lot of hate for Laugh Track. I think that's misplaced. If you go every once in a while, it's really funny. We enjoyed it, but we do not need to. I don't understand that concept.
Yeah, there's no need for two Monsters Inc. shows.
And we're not just losing the 3D show here, we're going to lose the whole atmosphere, which again isn't like total immersion, but I think it's like a fun, chill, New York-esque part of the park. We're losing the Miss Piggy statue, which people do love. It's a fun photo opportunity. She's beautiful and amazing, and if you hate Miss Piggy, you're a hater.
Pizza Rat Cafe.
Pizza Rat Cafe, that's New York, okay?
Pizza Rizzo, but yeah, that's a monument. You
Yeah.
can't get rid of Pizza Rizzo. Are you kidding me?
And again, it's a nice quiet area. I think there's a lot of space to eat there, and it doesn't get overcrowded. So it's just like another reason to keep it open. It's just a comfortable place to hang out. And I don't know, just everything that we're losing here is gonna hurt people, I think.
Yeah, it's like, is the food good? No. Do we care? No.
No.
Pizza Rat Cafe.
A rat's making it. What do you want? He's doing his best.
He's not Ratatouille, by the way. Yeah. Remy. Ratatouille is the dish.
Yes.
Remy is the mouse.
Remy is the mouse,
Or the rat.
and this Muppet Pizza Rat is.
He's nowhere near on Remy's level.
He doesn't have the culinary training of Remy, which can be forgiven.
Who does, right?
Who does?
We don't.
Whom amongst us does?
And not everything needs to be a land here, especially something like Monsters Inc. How relevant is it these days?
Exactly. I feel like if you're going to build an immersive land, it needs to be and or relevant or current. And no offense, Monsters Inc., we like you, but we don't know how relevant or current it is.
That movie came out, what, like 25 years ago, basically?
Exactly.
I was like 10 years old when I watched that. Like,
Do little kids still like it? I don't know. Maybe they do.
Yeah.
And Monster U didn't do that well either. It's cute, but it's not Monsters Inc.
yeah, the sequel, it was fine, but nobody really cares about it. And I just found out that there's a Monsters Inc. TV show.
Right. If it was good, we would have heard about it. I'm sorry. So.
Had no idea, yeah. And like, it's like, I would say maybe the Muppets are more relevant than Monsters Inc. is.
I think they have a
Today,
bigger
literally, yeah.
following, absolutely. Again, of all ages. And yeah, if you're going to choose an immersive land, maybe like something like this at Animal Kingdom. I don't know. This is not endorsement for Mufasa. You're not going to hear that here from us.
An old school Lion King.
Old school Lion King. Original content based on Hamlet, acted out by lions. We loved it.
So yeah, it just seems like Disney's just trying to like copy Universal's trends here by having like make everything a land. The difference is Universal does it the correct way with IPs that people care about.
Exactly. They have lasting power.
Yeah, like Nintendo, Harry Potter, like those are IPs that people are going to love for decades to come.
They're not going anywhere. Disney's just, I feel like it's a poor imitation of what Universal has so successfully done. And they think that by imitating it, they're sticking the landing, and I mean, that's clearly not going on.
Yeah, and this seems like a cheap way for them to do it. Like, all those buildings exist. The only one they have to build now is the roller coaster one, and just change out some signs and decorations, and boom, it's Monstropolis now.
Sometimes you gotta invest some money, Disney.
It's like they're obviously afraid of Epic Universe, and they're just trying to like cookie cutter, like copy paste what like Universal's doing, but just on a much worse scale. It's sad.
It is sad, and I just, no offense, I don't feel like they have like the gumption to like do this in a timely manner.
Oh yeah, especially because now they're going to be walling off Muppet Courtyard. They're going to lose that people eater attraction of the Muppet Vision show. That thing eats people in a park that needs it.
Exactly.
And this is going to take them
years.
4 years, I assume. Like I don't see this land being open until earliest 2028. More likely like 2029, honestly. So for those years, they're going to be down a major attraction. Whereas if they put it at Animation Courtyard, they wouldn't be.
It's a much quicker solution and a much more reasonable solution. And I mean, Epic Universe is about to be killing it for the next few years, while Disney is just like shutting down major stuff at the craziest time frame. I think I just really can't wrap my head around it.
And it's not just at Hollywood Studios. Like,
everywhere.
What they've done to Epcot with this Communicore Hall, aka like a high school cafeteria, that stupid garden where the lights don't even work on it that they spent 5 years building.
The Moana Way of Water is kind of fun, but I feel like it loses its excitement after one walkthrough, and things don't really like work as well as they should.
It was working when we were there, but apparently that thing has its own set of problems, and like sewage smells are coming from it. Apparently, that's not a great look. Yeah,
Moana Way of the Sewers.
They can't even figure out like basic plumbing. Moana Way of the Sewers. What they should call it, it's
rebrand. I think we meant for this to happen.
it's more of an actual
accurate.
Yeah, it's more accurate than the Way of Water. Way of Sewage.
Animal Kingdom is about to shut down the whole dino area and change it into tropical Americas, which could take God knows how long.
So another part they're just losing capacity at.
Yep. Where they need it desperately again. So it's just the same silly mistakes over and over again. I don't get it.
What they're doing over at Magic Kingdom with the Rivers of America. Tom Sawyer Island, the Liberty Bell, fine, those can go. Like, I know some people are super nostalgic about them, whatever, but they don't really draw people in, and that's fine. But the river itself, like, that's beautiful. Like, you need to keep at least a good portion of that, and if they're putting Cars Land there, guess what? Bridges exist.
Good idea.
Cars, they drive over bridges, so you can keep a lot of that river there and, like, build the attraction on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. Turns out removing a river is expensive and environmentally a nightmare. So, who knew?
Wild stuff. But don't worry, Disney says. They're not getting rid of the Muppets. They love the Muppets just as much as we do. So they're retheming Rock and Roller Coaster to the Muppets. Fine, whatever. I'm okay with that. That poster looks cool.
It does look very cool. I actually want a t-shirt, I was saying earlier.
Yeah, and like Aerosmith is not relevant anymore. Kids today, they don't know who the hell they are.
That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay with this, totally. Yeah. But what's wrong with the Muppets having 2 attractions at Hollywood Studios? They're on different parts of the park, but, who cares?
People like them. Listen to your guests.
It's like shooting somebody and then just like putting a Band-Aid on it. It's like, hey, see, it's totally fine. We love the Muppets.
Yep, this is totally fixed.
Totally fixed, yeah. It's just like, it's just a stain on Jim Henson's legacy, honestly. Like, this is the final thing he did, and it's beautiful. It's just not time for it to go yet.
It really isn't. Yeah, and I know nothing can last forever, but this could have lasted for a while longer.
It's just classic, just greed overcoming the guest experience.
I feel like when we were younger, and maybe even in like recent years past, Disney made most decisions with guest experience like at the forefront, and that is utterly not happening at all now. It's just utter greed, mixed with poor decision making, and it's making guests angry. I feel like we're seeing a lot of diehard fans say, like, I don't want to go back. And how did you get to that point, Disney?
Yeah, you're upsetting the pixie dusters now, which is very, very tough to do because they'll stand behind you like no matter what. But like,
everyone has their limit, apparently.
This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Just raising prices and taking things away from us while they do it with smiles on their faces.
I came to the conclusion last night that Josh D'Amaro is a Universal mole.
He's the Disney Parks president, by the way, if you don't know.
Because that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, he's like an agent for Universal, just coming in,
tearing it down from the inside out,
destroying everything you can. Yeah.
Throw this out. Get rid of that ride. Change this.
Yeah, it's like these Bob Iger years, who's the CEO of Disney for now. Just buy all these IPs and just destroy these parks is like his plan, and destroy the IPs as well.
Slash and burn.
Like, remember when Marvel was good? Remember when Star Wars was good?
Yeah. I miss it.
Like, it's just gonna come to a point where people are gonna be like, it's not worth it. We're not gonna go. We're gonna take our money and go to Universal or somewhere else.
I think we're gonna see this kind of like rapidly happen over the next few years. Universal has been like edging up on them slowly, and it's gonna be a stark contrast when Epic's open.
And you think once Epic Universe is open, Universal's gonna stop adding attractions to their parks and waiting for Disney to catch up?
They're only beginning here.
So.
Yeah, they're just ramping up.
So yeah, over the next few years, I think we're going to see a big shift in the Orlando theme park market here. And it's not looking so good for Disney.
Nope. There's got to be one top dog, and we're seeing a big shift.
Look at all of this space in Animation Courtyard. Like, it's so much bigger than the Muppet Courtyard, and then they have the office space behind it that they can demolish, but they won't because they're super greedy and they can't be without their office spaces. Like, this would be such a better land for Monsters, Inc. than the Muppet Courtyard, which is tiny. And speaking of immersive lands, Galaxy's Edge was just done horrifically. Like, how do you take something like Star Wars and make it into something that people don't want to visit?
Right, yeah, when we heard it wasn't going to be Tatooine after we saw the concept art, I think our hearts kind of sank a little bit. I just pretend I'm in Tatooine when I'm in there. I don't care.
The Millennium Falcon's cool too, I guess, but people don't care about the new movies. People love the originals. And even the prequels are amazing compared to these new movies.
Yeah, I think that we really owe Hayden Christensen an apology for all the crap talking we did over the years. I'm sorry. We were so wrong.
He's a fantastic actor, and those prequels were superb.
Absolutely.
compared to this new garbage, anyway. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, the fans who are paying to go here are fans of the original and the prequels. The kids now aren't paying the prices to get into these parks. It's the parents cater to the adults.
Do the kids even like the new Star Wars?
I don't know. I don't know kids.
Yeah, we try to stay away from children as much as we can. Yeah. I never thought I would see the day where like new Star Wars things I'm just literally indifferent to. Like, I couldn't care less that they're releasing a new Star Wars show or whatever.
So we just saw a trailer for Skeleton Crew and with Jude Law and a bunch of kids, and we just rolled our eyes. Like, enough is enough. Who is this for? Not for Star Wars fans, that's for sure.
Certainly not, yeah. At this point, I am pretty much scared for every attraction at Disney World, like, because they could potentially just ruin anything at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
Nothing is safe.
So what are they gonna do next? Remove Cinderella Castle, put in an elemental ride, and so they can charge Lightning Lane, or let's revamp the Haunted Mansion into the new movie with like Owen Wilson.
Wow.
I would not be surprised at this point. Like, nothing is safe.
Nothing is sacred anymore.
I mean, I guess one good thing for Disney is they're going to be selling a lot of Muppet merch in the next few months.
Maybe that's the grand plan. Yeah.
And there is no date on when these attractions are going to be removed, when Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be rethemed. But it seems like you still have quite some time to get on Muppet Vision and Rock and Roller Coaster as well, in its current form.
But enjoy those while they last. And hopefully Disney starts making some positive decisions soon so we can stop making these rants. But until then, they'll keep coming.
We will continue to rant. Yeah.
Yes. We will not be silenced.
The current leadership at Disney is just not what it needs to be, and like they need to go.
Yeah, some sort of restructuring, definitely, and they need to have some epiphanies because what they're doing right now is not working.
Yeah, Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro right now. Like I can't wait to see them out. Hopefully that day is sooner rather than later.
They'll be fine. They've been greedy enough for long enough. They'll be okay.
All right, I think it's time to go watch some old school Muppets right now because that's what I need.
Soothe the soul with some old Muppet.
Absolutely. All right, this Disney rant is over. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.